and welcome back to Lit Laugh Lounge Podcast.
Woo! We don't have any grape juice today.
No
Is it
grape
for
juice.
good behavior?
You get good behavior sticker.
Oh my god, yay!
I'm working on getting a
Can
lot
I
of
finish
one.
the reading?
What's the one for bad behavior?
Finish the reading.
Thank you.
Anyway, there were stickers in front of me, and I had to participate.
Couldn't resist.
I couldn't.
I like
So we're on Mistin Fury. Woo! Alana's favorite out of the books.
Yeah, one of my favorite books of all time.
I love this Spaghetti Pookie.
Love that book.
Too bad you're only halfway through the chapters that we were supposed to read.
I've been busy, Haley. I have 5 finals this week.
I have none.
I've had 4. I did 1 today. Anyway, it was. I don't know what I wrote. I wrote a
Fair
lot
enough.
of. So I wrote something on queer theory, and I was
Oh, I like that.
and I was just, I don't know, something about the apocalypse.
Oh, I like that.
And how like that makes you like turn into a bad person.
Fair enough.
So today we're going to talk about chapters 1 through 5, starting with the prologue, which I didn't write down, but I remember, so it's fine. The prologue is
She's having nightmares, and
Yeah.
she's having a nightmare about the people she killed under the mountain,
and then
Or-
she yeah
or
you can do it.
UTM, as I've been calling it.
Yeah.
It's just they keep saying under the mountain so many times, and I really just needed to shorten it in my notes, so I just put UTM, and
UTM.
it's been working for me.
Okay.
But she's been having dreams about like the people she killed, like the fae she killed on the
Mhm.
mountain, and then she's like, "Oh no!" And then when she goes to stab the last person, surprise! It's
It's
herself.
her.
Which,
Crazy.
I mean, is fair. If you outright murder 2 people, I feel like it's gonna haunt you for a bit.
For at least a minute.
She's a
Couple months.
therapist.
At least 3 months, which is what it's been since the events of ACOTAR. So it has been 3 months since Under the Mountain, and Feyre is not chilling. We open and she is throwing up. We get told that both she and Tamlin
Throwing up.
we get told that both she and Tamlin are haunted by nightmares, and they don't talk about it. Feyre asks to go help a village recover, but Tamlin's like, "No, you're my fiance and a symbol of something. So I don't want you getting hurt, and I would be upset if something happened to you." So then she's like, fine. And she goes wedding planning with this bitch named Ianthe. Ianthe is a priestess, and she's like one of the big high priestess. She's very important, but she's also very young. She's visiting for the wedding, and they plan the flowers, and she's like, oh, well, like, I don't know what color we should do. How about red? And Feyre's like, no, I don't fucking want red. And she's like, okay, no red. What about russet? And then
Poor girl.
her and Lucian go to the village, and he gaslights her, but he's also being gaslit at the same time, so it's fine. He's okay.
It cancels out.
He's just being used, guys.
You can't gaslight if you are also being gaslit.
Mhm. He's basically just telling her, hey, like, I know that this is hard for you, and I know that he's like being really overbearing on you, but it's what has to happen right now because we have to seem like we are a united front, and we have to seem like we are rebuilding and that we are
He's
strong
literally excusing his bad behavior, but
Yeah.
it's okay because he is being manipulated.
as well. He's like, he's not chilling. Lucian has not been chilling this entire series.
No.
So like he's fine. He gets a pass.
Lucian gets targeted a lot.
He does. So then they go to the village, and the village people are like, oh, Feyre Cursebreaker. And she's like, let me help you. And they're like, fuck no, bitch. You did too much. You did too much for us already. Please. Your debt is owed. And she's like, I want to help. And they're like, your debt is owed. And then she's like to Lucian, she's like, hey, did you take me there on purpose? And she's like, did Tamlin have you take me there on purpose? And he's like, no, I took you there on purpose. So you see that like it is not helping Tamlin by you keeping pestering him about this. And she's like, damn.
Feyre being a better ruler than Tamlin for like 5 chapters straight.
So then Feyre attends a party, and she's not having a good time. One of the guests asks her about Rhys and mentions that he saw her fight the worm. She's it's one of like Ianthe's known people. He's like a sentry, and she's like, he's basically like, hey, that was pretty metal, you fighting the worm. And she's like, I'm not your fucking entertainment. I almost died. The fuck? And he's like, has Rhys called you up? And she's like, he's like, well, maybe he forgot. And she's like,
Hopefully.
bitch, have you met him? No. So then it's the wedding day, and Feyre puts on this over-the-top cupcake dress. If you listen to Taylor Swift, it's
I was about to say.
Very speak now. And she goes and she walks down the aisle.
Rip Rhys, you would have loved to speak now.
He literally would have. He literally would have.
He totally
Reese
screws
would be
up.
a Taylor Swift girly.
He would, because he likes feminism.
He does
And you
like
know what?
feminism.
He would listen to Speak Now and like think about this exact moment and be like, "Oh, look."
I also think he would like Picture to Burn a lot.
He would enjoy.
I think he would enjoy Picture to Burn. She walks down the aisle and she's all okay until she sees that among the white petals are also red ones. She spirals, has an anxiety attack, thinking she's worthless, terrible, and undeserving of Tamlin.
Mhm.
She calls out for someone to save her, and Reese shows up, dramatic as fuck, and goes, "Hello, Farrah, darling."
And she lied to me. She gaslit me. We want to talk about being gaslit? She gaslit me. Because a few weeks ago, no, months ago, I think when we started talking about the podcast, I know something. I don't know a lot of that accent, but I know one thing. Someone says, "Hello, Farrah, darling." And she goes, "I don't think it's that important." And then I'm like, "Okay, whatever." And then he says the words. And then I was like, "Oh, I had beef with you."
I'm pretty sure there's people like "Hello, Farrah, darling" tattooed on them.
I had personal beef. Like, you don't understand. I don't like that. I don't like that. I read it and I was like, oh. So she lied to me. Like a liar.
A liar and a deceiver.
Haley lies a lot.
I like
She
it.
lives right next to me. I know where she lives.
Would you? Okay, but like if I told you, it would have spoiled it. And this way, you get to have drama.
I was like, I cannot imagine Tamlin ever saying, "Hello, Farrah, darling."
He's too blonde for that.
He's too blonde. No, actually.
No, okay, because
Talk
why
about
do
the
I
epidemic
imagine
of that.
Tamlin with an American accent and then Reesen with like a different accent?
the
Not
British
necessarily British, just like an accent.
They're both American to me. But that's just because I can't think of another accent because
And
I can't
you're
do.
American.
Yeah, I can't do another accent,
But
so
like,
that's why.
"Hello, Farrah, darling."
Hello, favorite darling.
It doesn't work. It's
Yeah.
"Hello, Farrah, darling."
Yeah, it's too snazzy.
It's too. It
It's-
sounds too. Unless he's southern.
Hello, Farrah, darling.
I think everyone, if
Darling.
they do the remake, they should
Darling.
do they should do like really random American accents. So like someone has a Californian accent, someone's from Minnesota.
Just that
Can
TikTok.
Helion have like a thick Southern accent?
He would.
Just that TikTok where they're like Shakespeare, but like in Southern accents,
Yeah.
and a lot funnier, like that.
Yes,
Anyways, you get
they
me.
would be Southern. I feel as well, and I think I feel like Tarquin would have like that Miami accent.
Oh my God.
Really?
Like literally, like and really, are you
Really?
sure?
No, he literally would.
More would have a SoCal accent.
We are
She
from
would.
Miami. We can.
I can say literally.
Yeah, we can. We're from Miami.
Okay, I'm not from Miami, but
You can do the
I can
Southern.
has to do it.
You're loud. Anyway, where was I? Tam. Whoa.
He shows up.
Dramatic as fuck, and Reese is like, I'm calling in this bargain, and he's like,
come to bargain.
I come to bargain, and then he looks at her and he goes, "You look ridiculous, fashionista queen." Okay, babe.
Like, I hate
Then,
that dress.
like, you look ridiculous. Tamlin's like, "What can I do for you to not take her?" And Ianthe runs away. Reese is like,
Literally
nothing. She like fucking like sprints in the other direction from the altar because he's like, "Well, we need to get married. Like, we'll just get married before you take her." And then Reese is like, "So your like priestess is gone. She's out the window."
And Tamlin turns around like,
Boy is coolest the entire
Literally. And then where did we? Okay. So then Ianthe runs away, and Reese is like, "You can't do nothing." And Tam's like, "Oh damn, okay, don't hurt her." And Lucian is aghast. Don't hurt him. Don't hurt him. Lucian is absolutely aghast by this. He's like, like at this wedding, Lucian can't catch a break. He doesn't know what's going on.
Lucian is being everybody dragged around by everyone.
Yeah, and then Reese teleports away, which we later learn is called winnowing. But right now I'm talking teleporting. There is a sick ass mountain house and in the night court, and Reese is like, "You're my guest." Feyre throws a shoe at him. There are so many fantastic.
Talk about the real Beauty and the Beast. That is actual Beauty and the Beast. Not whatever that shit that was with Tamlin. Girl. Yeah. Girl. Tamlin's like Gaston to me.
And that makes Lucian LeFou. That conversation already.
I know, but I forgot.
Wait, that kind of explains why he goes through it so bad.
Yeah.
Low key. Poor guy.
Mm-hmm.
Continue.
Wow.
About that one.
Our last episode.
I did.
Wasn't
Because we
thinking
did a
about
spoiler
it. Oh,
episode. That's right.
Yeah. I wasn't thinking about it. 'Cause I don't know why, but then I was like,
You don't
wow.
understand.
I think I was confused and made the other people LeFou.
You're stupid. Yeah, I said it.
Wow.
Sick ass mountain. Reese was like, "You're my guest," and Vera throws a shoe at him. I posted the comics of this that were popular when I read ACOTAR. Because I'm old as fuck, apparently. Geriatric. But I posted them on TikTok because I love those comics.
We're the same age.
I know, but like I read it so long ago, and I cannot find any of the fan art from when I read it.
It's AI art.
It's AI art
yeah.
now, and it's also just like a bunch of stuff that's new, and so I can't dig through the stuff that was in there in like 2018.
I made like in 2020 I made a Pinterest board and I added a shit ton of stuff about it. So I had like a bunch of fan art saved from like 2020 and like all the popular ones like back then. But like looking through that like folder, I was seriously, I was like, oh my god, the difference between this and AI art is like insane. Because like this just feels so genuine and like someone like poured so much time into this. And like the AI art is just so like empty.
It's
So
disgusting.
this is like an approved message. That Lounge does not approve AI art.
Never.
No.
With spaces.
I be tagging all my artist people in my thing. I tag them all. I love them.
Because it covers up all of the real art too.
It's ridiculous.
It's actually really annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, proceed.
Yeah. So then they have Brecky, and Reese is like, "So you're gonna learn how to read." And
no.
That's the end of those chapters.
Okay.
I didn't write down any plot points because I didn't get there yet.
Well,
So let's start with the prologue.
I always said I was like, you know what? I actually like her a lot more. Finally, she got a fucking personality. Freaking finally, and her personality right now is trauma.
It's depression. Yeah.
It's just depression. But that's more than she had last time. She felt like such a passive character last time.
It's a lot more real now.
At least this time, I'm like, okay, I can totally see where you're coming from. Also, better queen than her fiance. They've been together 3 months.
Well, I mean, technically, they were together for a couple months in the spring court, then 3 months under the mountain.
Would you approve of an 8-month engagement?
My parents got married after 6, and now they're divorced. I saw your mouth open.
I did not want to say that, but I was like,
my parents are also divorced. It's okay.
I know too.
So no, I don't appear of anything less than a year.
Yeah, I was
Appear.
Approve. Shut the fuck up. You could have just moved on.
Okay. The prologue, I kind of just vibed with the prologue.
I forgot it was there.
I went, oh.
Yeah, I was like, oh, cool. I was like, nice. You're traumatized. Good to know. And then I like moved on.
Yeah.
But
When she like stabbed herself, I was like, damn, that's metal. Okay, Sarah.
I was like, oh, she's really sad.
I was like, that's some meta shit. Okay.
Fuck on.
Like very much so.
She kills a side that is like, I think like if I can see me reading ACOTAR like in the literature like class setting and being like, now what does this mean for the sake of? Well, she killed her face, her human self was murdered.
She did kill her human self.
She did kill her human
No
self.
longer the same.
She died, and then we would like talk about the feminist implications of it. And you know I'm right.
You would.
Yeah.
It was
Anyways,
exactly what would happen.
I have beef with tampon.
Oh, but like the next part where she's just like, I was vomiting in the toilet.
And he
Crazy.
didn't come to her.
And she even noticed she knew he was awake. And he just ignores it.
I was like, okay.
Denial's a river.
Okay, I was like, wow. I was like, red flag girl, run. I literally read it. I was like, red flag girl, run.
And it bothers me so much that neither of them will talk about it and they just like won't acknowledge that like it happened at all.
And she did it. Oh my god. I was like, she did everything for him.
If I was Tamlin, I would be on my knees like bowing to Feyre every single day. Like, thank you so much for risking your life and knowing you were gonna die.
I'd be begging her for like to be like for conversation about it, to be like, no, let's talk about it. Like, let's talk about it. I want you to talk about it. It's healthy to talk about it. He doesn't care. Nope. Not that he doesn't care. He's too cold and like he doesn't.
I do think he does like genuinely care about her.
Yeah.
Like it's not that he doesn't love her.
He pities her.
Yeah. Bro is Joe fucking Alwyn. I said it, and I said it in my notes, and I said it again.
Shawn Mendes called it.
I was like, bro is Joe Alwyn. Sir, just watch. And as she wrote, you're losing me. And you know what?
You don't get to tell me about sad. Crazy. That's so Tamlin of him.
To be fair, you would have loved the torture post. You listened to So Long London and sobbed.
I've thought about it a little bit of like what ACOTAR characters are like what album of Taylor Swift. Lucian's Red. Nesta is Folklore.
Oh yes.
Speak Now is Resand. Tamlin's not there.
Would Nesta not be Reputation?
No. She's not Reputation.
Based on the limited thing I know about Nesta, she's
totally
Mad Woman. She would sob to Mad Woman and get angry too, like angry that she cries.
Because like Reputation is my favorite album, but it's not like
it's not really angry.
It's not angry, and it's not really deep. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Nesta is a very deep character.
Reputation is literally I'm so like I was exiled and I'm falling in love at the same time. But I'm gonna get revenge on you. But like, also I have my mans.
Oh,
it's kind of Feyre.
It's low key, yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Like it's like I'm coming back and I'm stronger because not only did I get better, but I have a man.
I got a man. So Reputation's kind of Feyre. But she's also very Midnights to me as Feyre. So
that makes sense. I could see that.
You know.
Literally.
Did I ever say Lucian's Red? I meant to say Lucian's Red.
You did.
Ed. Just for strictly the autumn vibes, and that's all I got so far.
I like that. All I really wrote down for chapter 1 that I was like, he just did not show up when she was having nightmares, and I was like, oh, so you're useless.
It's like it's so weird too because you see like the dichotomy of it and how he's also having like the night terrors and stuff, and it's just like he like won't help himself either. It's so strange.
He's like those people that don't believe in therapy.
Literally. But the thing is that originally when
That's me.
Oh.
Me. I don't believe in it.
It's not. No, in the sense that okay. But the thing is sorry. In chapter 1, originally I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe they're just like mutually traumatized and they just can't help each other. And that's fine. I'm like, fine, that's a fine. Like, I can see a relationship breaking apart because both of you are traumatized and you can't help each other. That's fine. But it's just,
I feel like
trauma doesn't equal indifference.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
But I feel like for each other, they both represent like their most traumatic moment of their lives.
The way that she did it for him and the bitch is ungrateful. Not ungrateful, but like, he just lets her stew in that. I wouldn't let my significant other stew in that if I
won't let her do anything.
He has her. Bro is Joe Allen. Y'all think I'm kidding, but come on. That
he
time
might even
Joseph.
be Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jacofer?
Not Jacofer. Jake Gyllenhaal.
That's crazy. He took her scarf
and
her humanness. That's crazy.
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm far too in this Taylor Swift lore.
No, I am too.
I just barfed up the few bits I know.
I know, you're doing really good. Yeah, I'm so proud of you. Like, I feel like if I was to talk K-pop, it'd be a lot worse, because I'd be like, so like, you know that one video, Cheese? That's all I know.
You know what? I would be able to mention the stolen dance move.
The stolen dance.
I would be able to explain that more. Now, I can't remember, like, I know it was, I can't remember the choreographer's name. But I
Vada is the one that stole it.
Yeah, and how they did, like, a dance move that means, like, stolen, like, stolen. Yeah.
I got the thing from KCON with Crystal. The Crystal, when I catch you, Crystal. I forgot about Crystal. See, I'm good, guys. I got this.
Great, because I forgot about Crystal.
Okay. We're in chapter 2?
Okay.
Okay. It's chapter 2 with the village. That's what I wrote down next.
Fuck you mean engaged?
I think the ring's really cute, though.
It's emerald.
I love an emerald. And I love an emerald.
It's hot. No. What do you mean engaged? Bro, you have been indifferent to each other for months. And also that time period, you're telling me you got that on one knee, and I was like, I want to be with you for the rest of my immortal life. And then I was like, oh, so your relationship's built on sex. Oh.
Like a cross
interrupting something.
Always. My mate here.
Oh, did you catch that the last podcast that we did together? She looks over at me and she goes, "You want a mate?" I didn't catch that. She looks at me and she goes, "So I meant to say, do you want to be mate?"
Do you want a mate? Like right now? You were so shocked.
I'm just so sorry. Pause back to think. Why are they engaged? No. Listen. I can approve of quick engagements. I really can. Trust me, I can. I can. I can can prove a lot of things. Listen, I was like, you know that they're like, I can excuse racism, but I draw the line at animal cruelty. You can excuse racism. I can excuse a quick engagement. Bro has not really shown his love for her and since the traumatic event that they both experienced. And you're telling me in those months he got down on one knee and was like, Farah, I really, really want you to marry me. And here's what you're going to get in return. A lifetime of imprisonment in my house where you can never leave and you won't ever learn about the new species that you are.
Rich
Because
people.
I'm actually terrified that you're more powerful than I am, low key.
Literally.
And I'm also gonna be lying to all my friends or whatever. Hope that's okay, Queen. Also, you're not gonna really have any power.
I like felt a presence, and then I saw you get scared. I was like,
Like extreme, like boba eyes right now.
She looks so concerned. Anyways, what was I saying?
I don't know.
Oh, engaged? I'm so sorry.
continue.
I'm engaged? Oh, God.
I'm sure it was a really cute ring though, because I love an emerald cut and I love an emerald.
Bro proposed to her amidst his depression, but couldn't come and comfort her when she had a nightmare. The bare minimum, one would say. Especially after she died for you. I hate that man. I despise that man. Also, the what are we combo. You said what are we, and I was at first, and I went before I had read the chapter, and I was like, haha, very funny.
Yeah.
It was literally a what am I gonna be once I marry you? And he goes, nothing. He goes, nothing.
But no, my thing with Tamlin, I think that
the sticker.
I think that he did not know what to do next, and because she has just
Oh, it's right there. Okay. Struggling and thuggling.
I think because she just saved him and his entire world. I think he's like, I don't know what to do, but the only right next step seems like marriage.
Yeah.
Like I have to, because she did this, it's only right that I give her this position.
And again, he does love her. Like it's not that he doesn't love her. Like that's there. He's just an idiot.
He's just not great at relationships.
He's just a man.
Okay,
I'm stupid.
I'm all for him as a trauma response or being like, okay, the next possible step that we're going to be for the savior of my people is to marry her, which I get that. Like politically, I understand that or whatever, and I don't think that's what she meant.
I think it's also still the like she's trying to like overcome that they're like. But like what they're doing,
she just really didn't want us to like him. The switcheroo was insane. Like literally, I was reading this book and I was like, "Oh, okay, we're hating him." Like actually, now,
welcome to the Sarah J. Maas verse.
Because at first I was like, "Okay, we're just gonna get like a subtle like over time she becomes disillusioned." No, like it was like she goes, "And he doesn't come for me anymore," and I was like, "Oh, immediately off the bat." And then she goes, "What did I write down?"
That's something we talk about a lot, like. In the first book too, is that you notice there's just like a lack of chemistry. It's almost like Sarah herself did not like Tamlin.
I was like,
I don't think she did.
I don't think she did either because when I was reading that book, I was like, you guys are fucking out of nowhere. In fact, it's low key essay what he did to her, but I'm not gonna go there. But like,
which one?
The bite.
Oh, yeah, that is.
Okay, thank God. I was like, I wasn't sure.
I just didn't know where we were.
Yeah, no. I was like, it's low-key essay, but then after that, she was like, oh my God, for real? And then they got together, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, one of the things we talked about was that moment when she was in the rose garden, and she was like letting out all of her emotions. She's like, my family didn't come for me. They don't love me. They didn't care that you just took me. And then he's like, you'll be fine. And leaves.
You're okay, Pookie.
I was just like, okay. Well, also, why did the what are we conversation happen? And after months, I'm so sorry. No. Aside from that, months after they were engaged, months. This is a conversation you have before you get engaged.
I feel like that's also a conversation of like the night that you get engaged too. Like, oh, cool, we're gonna get married. Like, what is my title?
And I think that like shows though like how disrupted Feyre is at this moment. How like she is so completely scattered that she doesn't even realize until literally a week before she marries this man. Oh, he's nobility. I should have a title. What is my title? And he goes, you don't get one.
You don't get one.
You're just my wife.
And you know what? You know that bitch is lying, and I know he is lying. I know he's lying. I know he's hiding. Maybe not lying explicitly, but he's certainly hiding something. I think she mentions that like it's not the whole truth, and I do think that there is a title. He just doesn't want to give it to her because of implications, whatever those implications are. But I think it has to do with magic. But whatever.
He's very weird about that. The next thing I have like written down is like the scene with the village where like when she's asking to go to the village and then the wedding planning with Ianthe. To this day, it makes me so fucking mad. The red petals.
One request.
The like disregard. And when I was rereading it, because I like remembered while I was reading it about the red petals, like I forgot. And like when she brings it up, she goes, "No red," and then like Ianthe keeps talking and she goes, "Do whatever you want." Like I sat there and I went, no, because I was like, at first I was like, oh, she just went against what she was saying and like did the red, and then I was like, no, Feyre, you're one slip of words, and she's okay to put red petals there.
No, it's
my tortured soul.
Yeah, it's so upsetting. It's like she could have gotten any other color. She could have gotten
pink,
white,
yellow,
and all her one request was no red, and it's covered in white petals. I mean, red petals. Like that's
ridiculous.
I will say that description
of what
I don't know.
Or the
wedding,
the panic attack. I don't vibe with a lot of her writing style. I don't know why. I just don't. But that particular part, I was like, oh, finally. I was like, oh yeah, that's good.
She writes really high emotions very, very well. So like torture scenes, battle scenes, and like the panic attacks and like those emotional scenes, you feel it. You're like, ouchies.
Especially the torture scenes, and anytime she describes pain, you're like, oh my god.
Or like longing. Like there's one book in her Throne of Glass series where like a character disappears and another character is like, where is this person? And you feel your soul crack in half. You know what I'm talking about. Third to last book. It's gray. The storm's in the cover. Cracks your soul in half.
In the line that they say.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah. We're good.
Oh my god.
Why did you bring that up? That was such a hard time in my life.
Wow. Like when I tell you it cracks your soul in half. There's another one in here.
Oh my god, I'm so
I literally forgot that happened. That was so sad.
There's another one too. There's one in the last book of Throne of Glass. There's like 2 scenes that if you show me fan art of it, there's like a clip of someone reading the audiobook and I will break down in tears every single time. I don't do that. Like ever.
I believe you.
That's the only book that I've ever like ugly sobbed at. I don't know how you did it, Sarah. Because I've read some sad books.
I like the design.
What? Oh yeah, I did art. You can't see it, but I did art.
Just cute.
The wedding. Oh my god, the dress shaped like a pastry. I love that detail.
I just imagined like a giant white quinceañera.
Literally
dress.
Key. I think it was just meant to feel uncomfortable.
It's like I don't think Victorian's the correct word, but it's like one of those era dresses where they have the huge petticoats and the huge cages and like it's everything's sucked in and they have the big old sleeves and like I imagine this dress being more like a parasol, you know, like an umbrella.
Yeah. I was like imagining one of those dresses to just kind of show that she doesn't really fit in.
Very much like a tea party.
Oh, here, Fallon, have you seen this fan art?
It's very important to me, the fan art.
There's also
that's from the ACOTAR book. Like there's a coloring book.
Maybe. I like that. You know what? She didn't even tell me it was her birthday during the winter solstice. I'm sorry. This is like a little bit going back.
Yeah, too.
I got mad about that. The wedding dress, and then just
genuinely... Ianthe with the fucking wedding dress because she's just like, oh, I'm gonna suck it up. And then Tamlin's like, you do look stupid. But Slay Queen,
I know. I love how like Tamlin doesn't give a shit.
like none. Like you don't want your bride to feel beautiful on her wedding day?
What a real
Cookie?
partner, I think, would be more interested in the wedding.
That's not very feminism of you. That's not very choice of you.
This feels like an inside joke that I'm gonna get at some point, and then I'm gonna be very upset.
You will get it very quickly. Trust me.
Oh, and then the night court. What are your wait. First we have to talk about Lucian and his aghastness. His face is so incredibly clear to me in that moment where he's like, "Fine, don't hurt her," and he goes,
Yeah, because
like looking around, breaking the fourth wall.
Because Lucian's like, that's your goal. That's your goal.
And you're letting another man take it on the wedding
The
day?
way that the excuse used of Richard was like, why wasn't Lucian the one who told Farrah, he was like, Tamlin had to watch you die,
Yeah.
and like he and then like he like was really traumatized. And I was like, he didn't do anything that she died. He just stood there and bled out. And I'm so sorry, King, but if you were really, really Book Talk's boyfriend, you would have gotten and you would have picked up your little pants and would have done his little pantaloons with his little lips to save your girlfriend, and you didn't.
No.
And then once again, some dude shows up and he goes, "Oh, I guess I can't do anything."
Oh my goodness.
And
There's
Lucian's
flowers over there.
and Lucian's like, "Oh, what the fuck, bro?"
Especially because
Anyways.
Lucian just had this whole conversation with Feyre where he's like, I had to watch the love of my life die. I had to hold the love of my life and hear her heart stop beating. And then he watches Tamlin, his best friend, who has everything he wants. Like the girl, he's getting the wedding, he gets
High Lord.
High Lord, he has everything he wants, and he watches him just fumble the fucking bag to fucking Rhysand.
Bro,
Swagger City.
it's actually so actual fucking pathetic because I'm just imagining him being like, he's just so shocked that he doesn't do anything, and I'm like, oh, you're not gonna fight for your girlfriend again? She's in this situation because of you.
And not only that, Tamlin and Lucian believe that Rhysand is a murdering monster that like tortures children for fun.
And just to go from
He wears black, so you know he's
it's
emo.
just, to go from Rhysand saying in book 1, I think that me flirting with you is going to get Tamlin so angry that he might be able to kill Miranda, to this book where he doesn't do anything. Rhysand to Tamlin is the devil incarnate. He shows up and he goes, and then like, oh. The most he does is give him a snide-eyed and a snarky comment, and then Rhysand's like, okay,
Oh my god.
oh, I'm so scared, and then he takes her.
Yeah.
All the loot police.
Also, how do you like the description of the night court so far?
Oh, and the shoe scene, her throwing the shoe.
She's so funny.
That's one of my favorite scenes.
That's so funny.
I did.
How like I dare you.
Well, that's one way to do it. I was like, okay. I actually think it's really pretty. She said, I wrote this down. Most beautiful place she's ever seen, and then with the most beautiful man she's ever seen, and I was like, okay, girl, we get it.
Oh my god.
I literally wrote here. I was like, bro, Tamlin, stand up, like stand up.
Stand on your money? Get your money up, bitch.
I was like,
I'm back. Ain't standing on business.
you should insert a clip of like Maddie from like Euphoria, because like that one moment I was like, bitch, that's your soulmate.
Bitch, you're fucking soulmate.
Because when she goes, this is the most beautiful place I've ever seen, and then with the most beautiful man she's ever seen, and then I was like, bitch, that's your soulmate.
That's your soulmate.
Anyways,
I'm just thinking of the one Euphoria scene I've seen now where it's like the amphitheater and she goes, yeah, because whatever the fuck her name is a little fucking cunt. And I'm like,
And then I'm gonna beat her ass.
I'm gonna beat her ass, and then her friend's like, Maddie, don't, and her other friend's like,
the only thing I ever saw was like, I was like, because we're gonna talk about Rue. Let's talk about Rue. And then someone goes, you dumb fucking bitch. Oh no, that's the only thing I know about Euphoria. Oh,
that one too. That's quoted a lot by Gabriel.
She literally the entire time I was reading chapter 5, I was like, bro is just Joe Alwyn. I was like, no, like quite literally, like the descriptions we get of him, like Tamlin in particular, he just stands by it and watches it happen. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then Rhysand's here like, hey girl.
Feminism.
Here's like my really cool mountain. And you know what? I actually am gonna teach you about your magic powers.
She gets a sick as hell mountain, a sick as hell tattoo, and she gets to wear slutty little tops. Love it for her.
No, because quite literally. Oh, also the explanation of her magic. The retcon. It low-key felt like a retcon. I mean, I understand. It wasn't really a retcon. Like, the explanation of how, like, he can read her mind.
Oh, yeah.
I understand it wasn't a retcon. I'm very aware of that.
What the fuck is a retcon? What are you talking about?
When an author goes back to fix something previously by, like, changing something, but it doesn't match what was originally stated.
She fucked up and tried to fix it.
Yeah.
Cover up.
Like a cover up. Like,
Yeah.
so she created something and readers would be like, that's fucked up. And then she goes, oh, that is fucked up. Let me adjust it a little bit.
Yeah.
But then you're like, oh, well, that doesn't match what originally was said.
Mm.
That was low-key what it felt with the mind thing. I know that wasn't what it was. She probably just didn't explain it really well in the first one, which I get, which is fine. Because if she was always meant to end up with Rhysand or be romantically linked to Rhysand, there was no way that she was going to make it, like, problematic.
Mm-hmm.
But, it felt like a retcon. Because him going, no. It's not that I can invade your mind. It says sometimes you open up your mind to me, and you're like basically screaming at me. So I kind of have to overhear because like you're basically screaming at me because your mind is so open to me. And I was
she asked me the other day. She's like, "Do you think Rhysand can hear her and Tamlin fucking?"
Especially because it's like a moment of extreme passion.
And that's like what he said is like when your emotions are really high, you scream this at me. Can you imagine?
That's why he's
that's so awkward.
That's why he's emo.
He's so emo. He's in love with emo.
But I was just like, because I was like, I know we've only really seen her go through her mind a few times, but like it's like she realized that people wouldn't be on board, and then he's like, see, he does believe in consent. It's not that he invades her mind; it's that she kind of just leaves the door open for him, and then she screams. And I'm
see
like,
what you're saying. But there's gonna be more explanations. In the
oh,
future.
for sure. That's why I'm saying I know it's not really a retcon.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I'm like, this feels like a retcon.
You're like, girl, you've swept something out of the
I was like, it feels,
Yeah.
I was like,
you evacuated something out.
Because Rhys's power at least works specifically where you have to be in the same like area as him for him to just jump into your mind.
They're cracking like an eggshell.
Yeah. So they're connected by their
Tattoo
bond.
yeah.
So it's not like,
but it's not about like the first one. The first time he.
Well, yeah, because I mean, he was trying to get information from her, but like.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the first time we got introduced to Rhysand's like mind ability, it was like, oh, I don't like that.
Like this is in a good situation.
This is in a good situation. And then this time he's like saying like, no. Like it's not that it's like this is a bad situation. It's just like sometimes you just
be saying shit.
You just let me in or whatever. And I'm gonna help you because I'm gonna build up your defenses against me. And I'm like, oh, this feels like a not a bad retcon again. Like I think this has been done in multiple shows where like mind control is introduced, where like the writers realize that they've introduced mind control, which is extremely traumatic, and then they're like, oh wait, let's
scrub that one.
Let's scrub the really like crappy nature of it and make it a little bit
better,
a little bit where like people have more control. And they usually do that by the person who can mind control, teaching the person how to resist mind control. And that's usually how it's done. So I was like, oh, this feels like a retcon. Even if it's not, it feels like a retcon.
And then they have like the breakfast where she's like, what do you want from me? And he's like, I'm gonna teach you how to read. Crazy.
And they're actually kind of cute.
And his reasoning for it like makes sense. Because I don't think he says it here, but like I think at some point he's like, at some point he's like. He's like, you need to learn how to read. Like, that's important. Like, to be a high lady, like, you need to know how to read.
Well, he said a high lord's wife.
Then he says high lady.
He doesn't say high lady.
He does in that chapter. Oh, maybe you haven't gotten there yet.
He just says high lord.
No, but he does. At some point is what I'm saying.
I feel like I've heard that.
Yeah. He says it at some point.
Either way.
But to be with the high lord, like, you need to do that.
He kind of just... He's like all for feminism right now, which is actually like really funny. It's like because one we have Tamlin who's like, I don't want you to learn about your magic powers. I don't want you to do this. I
actually want you to just pretend you're human right now.
I just want you to be like you were before the traumatic experience that we went through. More like she went through and he just witnessed. But which is still traumatic, but still. And then Rhysand's like, hey, I also witnessed this extremely traumatic experience, and they're probably mates, so it was probably a lot more traumatizing for him than it was for Tamlin, let's be real. And then at the end of the day, he's like, actually, I'm gonna teach you how to defend yourself
So this doesn't happen.
So this doesn't happen again. And then Tamlin's like, no, I can protect you. He literally says, I can protect you. And I'm like, can you though?
Literally, he can't.
You weren't able to before.
He's so bad at this.
I think it's the later chapter, but still.
And that is 1 through 5. Thank you for joining us. I think that's all that there is to say. And then there's 6 through 10 is next.
Exciting stuff.
My cookies. Follow us on everything.
Oh, what? I still hate Tamlin.
Tammy
I was always gonna hate him, but now I hate him even more. And Reset's not on my good